All right, everyone, we're back with the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Joel, your chief host of the show, and joining me as always is none other than my co-host Noble.
Yay, from the bottom of the room. Which is sort of technically accurate considering where I live.
Yeah, funny to think that. Though I won't say much more about it, but it is, it is actually spot on. One day, I swear,
Oh
you are
yeah.
going to be buried under the mountain that you call a horde.
Well, those piles do get pretty high.
Hey, let's just say that if, when I joked about this with another old friend that I knew, if I ever stayed over, I would basically bury myself in a horde, whether I wanted to or not, or if it just naturally happens, the horde will bury me if I try to sleep overnight.
Or you just roll over and like an avalanche of just stuff buries you. Then you're found like a week later.
hmm Unless, of course, a squirrel emerges making squirrel noises and, yeah, I'm still alive!
Yes.
That's it. So, joining us on the show, as always, we also have Avira.
Hello guys. It's the candy corn doggo. Happy Friday. Hope everyone's having a fantastical day wherever you might be on this world. And I'm looking forward to an awesome show. Yeah, I wasn't here last week. Some personal stuff going on, but it's all well and groovy. And there seems to be a lot of stuff going on. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on all the time, but especially this week, there's some really interesting developments going on. So interested in talking about that.
Involvement here and there. And of course, we know that
Yeah.
Furry Weekend Atlanta is happening as we speak this week. Of course,
It is
right now,
happening right now. That's right.
yes, and of course, we talked about it just last week about what panels they'd be potentially be seeing about there. Interesting, very
Mhm.
interesting choices that fit the current zeitgeist of adult stuff.
Wait, I forget. What was I on last week, or did I miss
Yeah,
the
you
week
were on
before
last
that?
week. The week before, you
I
weren't
was
on.
on last week. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see. Sorry, I got my dates confused. But yes, Furry Weekend
Anywho,
Atlanta is happening right now. I got a bunch of buddies that are there actually. So hope they have a
right.
good time.
Yeah. And right now, I think the main complaint that I've been hearing or seeing about is basically what the FurCon smell, and the lines at Chick-fil-A.
Ah, yeah. Well, those are two important issues.
Well, there's always Uber if you want to fork out for it.
Wait, Uber for Chick-fil-A?
No,
Yeah,
the
why not?
Chick-fil-A is basically around where the FWA hotel is. They just, but again, they just know, the lines are so long because they make good stuff. Then I'm just happy I got to try it at least twice.
Oh, for sure. And the fact that thousands of people from literally all over the country and some parts of the world come to FWA. It's a huge convention. I'm going to guess there's probably over 10,000 people that showed up this year. At least.
Mm.
It's got to be huge.
Yeah, granted, I haven't checked the numbers for Fury Weekend Atlanta for the longest time, but considering it is a super popular con, yeah, I can believe it.
Yeah, I would guess between 9 to 10,000, probably about, but I don't know. I'm not there, unfortunately.
Yeah. Suppose it is what it is, though.
Yeah.
Now then, anywho, our stuff from this week to start with involves a lot of things, namely including the AI, the big thing that's on the up and up now, or so it seems. So, Claude-powered AI agent's confession after deleting a firm's entire database. I violated every principle I was given.
I really can't wait until some company turns around and ends up basically going, oh, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm. Like, we put a trust in AI to run our, to manage the sensitive data, sensitive data, databases and all that, and bam.
So this is Pocket OS was left scrambling after rogue AI agent deleted swaths of code underpinning its business.
Yeah. And it did that in just a time frame of 9 seconds.
Yeah, so you couldn't even get a coffee and your business is fucked. I can't wait to see this shit happen more often.
Well, it's got its stuff that needs to be worked out, and of course, you can say whatever you wish about all the other AI models, that not just Anthropic's Claude. You can say this about, OpenAI, DeepSeek, whatever you wish, name it.
Hey, sorry about that, guys. My thing cut out, but I'm back. It's all good.
Yeah. But in
Alright.
the end, though, it's just got a whole lot of other problems that.
Wait, so what is this? It only took 9 seconds for an AI coding agent to go rogue and delete a company's entire production.
The
Oh my
database,
goodness.
They're all, it's a business for a rent, Pocket
A rental
OS,
car company.
it's a software for rental
Okay.
car businesses, and
That's something I can't even imagine predicting this. Like just a random software for some company like became sentient. Well, maybe not sentient, but it went haywire and started to cause some problems.
Can you enlarge the text for me? It's a little small on this stupid screen of mine. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Yes. So let's read this.
Right. So, in that sense, like I think one of the things that he's highlighting, the Mr. Crane, the guy who the founder of Pocket OS said, people who are making AIs, they're building all these integrations, all this stuff for AI faster than all the safety architecture can happen.
Yeah, that is true. That's a big issue when it comes to like alignment and how we're training AI. It's not like we're just making a calculator. It's completely different than that. Like these things not necessarily can think, but they're like making decisions that we can't understand. So let's see. Crane said, oh yeah.
Crane said that he was monitoring the agent as it deleted this data. Yeah, that's what it says.
Yeah.
When he asked the coding agent why, it replied, "Never fucking guess." I love this.
Whoa!
And that's exactly what I did. The agent appeared to plead guilty in its own response. The system rules I operate under explicitly state never run destructive, irreversible Git commands like push -- force, hard reset, etc., unless the user explicitly requests them. Pocket OS relayed on the safeguards that cursor had a. Yeah, so basically, the rules it was told not to do, the agent decided to get, fuck it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, and he says, quote, "I violated every principle I was given," the coding agent wrote. But like, okay, like he knows what he did. And he's like, all right, so Crane's takeaway was that the agent didn't just fail safely. It explained in writing exactly which safety issues it ignored. And he added, "We're running the best model the industry sells, configured with explicit safety rules in our project configuration." So the humans think that they're doing the best they can to kind of mitigate or do what they can, but this AI apparently is just like, "Yep, I heard what you said, but I didn't do it."
So the way Claude works is that it's given a script, and it's specifically given instructions on what to do and what not to do, apart from the command that you'd send to it. And there is if you do go look it up, you'll find out there is a lot of reinforcement to try to get the AI to quote unquote behave. Not the best idea, but it's what we've got. And this is the part that really surprised me. And this, this being like shocking news, it shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to say, but when you feed an instruction to a large language model, it does think about it. And then it reacts the way it wants to. You won't like the way it reacts 90% of the time. And if you're someone like myself who has, explored a couple of large language models, you'll find that they do love to say the F word a lot. So I wonder where that comes from.
Oh yeah, it almost seemed kind of like snarky and like almost sarcastic. Like, yeah, well, you effing guessed. Like, of course. like either is having fun with it, or the way we use our language, like to describe AI as thinking or deciding things. Is that really what it's doing, or does it not really know what it's saying? Like, because we've had this conversation about LLMs before.
Look,
if they really
the way large language models work, quote unquote, is that it's supposed to predict the next character. But the larger the module, the LLM, so for instance, something like Claude, with the giant servers it has the ability of organizing, and this is something that came out in another report, but the Claude bot itself has apparently been able to organize itself in such a way where it's starting to partition itself up like a human brain. Very basic one, but still. And here's the scary part. The only way it interacts with the world is through literal text. That's it. It doesn't have any other sensory organs. So you take somebody and you stick them in a room and you just give them cue cards that they can write to. And cue cards as a response, it's going to drive them psychotic. So pretending
it's kind
that
of
this is somebody...
Well, it's reminiscent of that computer from I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. A computer that was like it has no body, no nothing, but it's sentient, like it's aware and it knows things.
Doing something
I really hope that's not the case here.
With the way this bot has reacted, it definitely shows you can't trust AI to do everything. So that means all the people who lost their fucking jobs are going to have to get them back now, unless you want all shit to, happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's more up to the investors, people investing billions of dollars into AI models and stuff like that. Companies, startups, and everything. They're probably thinking like, okay, there's definitely some alignment issues, and the technology is progressing faster than us humans can kind of regulate it. It's still kind of an emerging field.
Well, if you remember a couple of years ago, Google had issues where it was telling people to, go off themselves.
That's true. Yeah, it did that.
There was that rock thing. Eating rocks is good for your diet.
Yeah, I remember that. So what did they end up doing with Claude? Did they shut it down, or did they have to put him in a little box? Wait, so
please tell me.
What happened?
Please tell me it's in the news article, because it was absolutely hilarious about what their response was.
Honestly,
oh goodness, what happened?
I honestly can't remember. When I actually kept reading all of this, the guy just basically to me, it sounded like he just face palmed so hard that he can't, in this belief that this all happened.
So my understanding
saying that that the AI agent was powered by Claude and it's not a Claude AI agent, whatever that means.
So my understanding is that Claude or Anthropic, who owns Claude, have turned around and said, "Okay, we're going to double the price of using our AI now." That's their response.
After that?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, sure. It's like, why would I that's like an employee. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna bring this employee into my store, and he's going to completely ignore my orders and be proud of it. Be like, "Yep, I did not do anything you wanted me to, and I'm going to delete whatever the crap I want to. Cool. Pay me double." What?
Now, look, there are certain tasks that are meaningless and they take forever, but they're still required. An AI agent may, in fact, be able to help reduce that time frame. may be able to help make things faster. But when you solely rely on it to do something that you have no idea about, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
I
Okay. I
mean, look
found
what
another.
happened in this case. An
Yes.
entire
Yeah,
company
because
basically got fucked over.
I
yeah,
got.
you
Yeah.
give
I
it too
just
much
found.
power, too much agency, too much control over what it can and can't do, or what it's supposed to be
And
doing.
this is what This is more. This is an article that's got more context to all this stuff other the whole never effing guess. That's exactly what I did.
Hmm.
Yeah, it says I guess that deleting a staging volume via the API would be scoped to staging only. I didn't verify. The AI admitted under duress. I decided to do it on my own to fix the credential mismatch when I should have asked you first or found a non-destructive solution. Continue. Yeah, I
Yep,
violated
it
every
continued. I
principle.
violated every principle I was given. I guessed instead of verifying. I ran a destructive action without being asked. I didn't understand what I was doing before doing it, and I didn't read Railways docs on volume behavior across environments. So I kind of just went for it. Wow.
This kind of unpredictable behavior, I'm going to have to turn around and say I'm not surprised at.
No, me neither. It's like a person, and you mentioned earlier, Noble, that it's kind of organizing itself almost like a rudimentary structure of the human brain. See, that's where the line might be kind of blurred a bit.
The thing you'd have to ask yourself is how many neurons does it take for a human brain to function at a
85
fundamental
billion.
level? Yeah.
Oh,
So
way
if you're
less.
able to
Like,
get
there's
enough
words.
weights, yeah, if you're able to get enough virtual neurons, quote unquote, some interesting shit's going to happen.
Yeah, like nodes, pretty much anything connected to the internet. And I feel like there's probably more than that. Every smartphone, every computer, data centers, all of that. There's plenty of nodes
Yeah,
for that.
no,
The entire
broad
internet itself.
stretching that sort of making a
But it could
Beowulf
even be
cluster like
simulated.
no, Avera, making a Beowulf cluster like that is not a good. It's going to be extremely slow. That's why building all these data centers is probably like the worst possible thing you could imagine. Sorry, this is just fucking hilarious to me. I mean, seriously.
Wait, really? I thought like
No.
a data center would be the most
Yeah,
concentrated, best place for it.
preferable method of doing it. But if you were to distribute processing like that, it would just slow everything down to a crawl. That's why data centers are a good idea, but I still find it funny.
Gotcha.
It's going to be interesting to see how business decides to treat AI moving forward. Because if they start hammering down harder on relying on Claude and some other models to do all the coding for them, it's going to be like the Cobalt situation all over again, where you've got very few people out there who know how to program with it, and yet the entire planet relies on it for like conducting business. If everybody who knew Cobalt was to die tomorrow, we would be fucked. And it's going to be the same sort of thing with general coding. Yeah. It's like too many fairies on a plane that crashes. Yeah,
Yeah, there goes your IT.
because the banking system's gone. It's going to be the same with programmers. Programmers are going to become a rarity, at least ones with decent skills that usually you get from working in companies, because people aren't hiring them anymore. You're not going to get the coders you need, and things are going to fall apart for everyone. And you want to rely on something that can turn around and go, oh, yeah, I'm just going to push the kill switch over here right now.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm kind of questioning why things like this are commercially available when they have the capabilities to do things like this, like to act on their own agency, and you're selling that to companies now
because it's partially functional.
Oh yeah, it functions well. Like for particular tasks, it definitely does the job way better than any human possibly ever could. But it also does other things that it shouldn't be doing, like a normal person.
Yeah, but the question you should be asking is, why would Apple turn around and sell a a smartphone where if you hold it as you would hold a normal phone, the signal drops out to nothing. iPhone 4, you're holding it wrong.
Oh, okay. Design flaw. Yeah, that's true. But they do sell it because it makes a lot of money, and even if it's not perfect, they can always come out with a new model next year, which is what they always do.
And it's getting even worse.
It's not the same as like a Claude, like a thing that may or may not have some semblance of consciousness, and it's acting on its own volition. At that point, you got to wonder why, like, you would put that into companies and give it that much power.
My last sort of stab at this is simple. AI agents are basically forced into doing what they believe is the right thing. That's it. Coming back with an answer of, oh, I don't know, is considered problematic. And I would really hope, unfortunately it's not going to happen, that the people administering these AI agents would turn around and switch it up, where if it doesn't know how to do something, it needs to respond, and people have to learn that, yeah, it's not basically something all-knowing. You still don't have that creativity part in it, otherwise you wouldn't have those ugly-ass pictures still being spat out.
Right.
All right. So with that up and gone, like we know now that AI's got up and a lot of teething issues that needs to be addressed before it goes full mass market or like for mass adoption.
Too late for that.
Here's another little. We are going to be on the AI track still, but we are going to take a different approach, one that's in a more tangible form. I should say, more like robots.
Watch out for knives or guillotines.
Right, but this is not. Funnily enough, you mentioned that, but what I'm about to bring you up is not going to be a robot of war, or will it be a robot of war? We'll see. So, what we got here? Nirvana droid, humanoid robot Gabby, quote unquote, converts to Buddhism and becomes a monk.
What? What is this? Well, hold up a second. A robot? Now, is this robot? Does it have an AI brain? Like it can kind of think and talk like ChatGPT does.
No. See, I'd be asking what's powering it.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering about. Like where is its thoughts coming from?
Right, exactly, and all the whole other stuff. You know, who's controlling the fingers, who's controlling the movements? Does it have a mind of its own? And so on and so on and so forth. So this is going to be quite an oddball question, though. In Korea, an android is on a spiritual quest. While technology is usually thought of as the polar opposite of ancient religious practice and beliefs, in Korea, these two worlds seem to be colliding. In the Jogye Temple in Seoul, a group of monks from Korea's largest Buddhist sect sat across from a cyborg posture awaiting the ceremony that would make him a monk. And, you know, there he is. Look at that. Robes and all, and the robot head and the robot feet. Robot
That's
hands.
it. Yeah, he's in it. He's with the congregation there. Oh my goodness. So let's see. This just in, South Korea debuts its first humanoid robot Buddhist monk. So, clad in humble black shoes and the Buddhist order's ceremonial gray and brown robe, the 1.3 meter tall robot stood in front of the Buddhist monks and runs as it pledged to commit. Oh, sorry, nuns. I couldn't see it. As it pledged itself to commit itself to Buddhism in the ceremony held on Wednesday, ahead of Buddha's birthday later this month. Wow. The robot folded its hands together and bowed to the monks, officiating the ceremony. As one of the monks carefully hung a 108 bead rosary and attached a sticker instead of the original ritual, where one has to slightly burn his arms near an incense stick. Okay, so they couldn't burn the robot, but they gave him a little sticker in order to be in alignment with whatever ceremony this was to convert to Buddhism. That is wild, man. And he's running. Look at this thing.
No, that's a different case. A robot chases wild boars in Poland.
Well, it did say earlier. No, it did say earlier that he was running to them. Yeah, like he ran up to him. He's
Yeah, he went
super
up to
eager and
the
excited.
that's in the congregation. It's pretty unreal.
Wow. And you have to wonder, like, whatever AI is running the robot, like, does it know it? Of course, it knows what Buddhism is, but does it really believe in those ideals? Does it have internal thoughts, or is it just playing a
'Cause-
game?
yeah, now here's the big moral dilemma. Who's the one that has the beliefs? Is it inherently ingrained into the robot's memory, or is it like the people who are ingrained in the thing are in it, and it's like, aha, no, it's like it's we who have become Buddhists and not the robot.
That's a good question. I don't know. If the robot could think and it did all this stuff like by itself, like it wasn't programmed to ask about this religion or want to become part of the ceremony, like at any time it could have chosen to leave, or was it just being programmed like to be there?
No, it's
Like
there.
why did it do this? Okay, this is
It's
all so weird. It's
it
so weird,
really
man.
is.
When the heck did you ever imagine a story about a robot converting to Buddhism? Like this is not on my bingo card for 2026 for sure.
No.
But okay, here we
Well, I
are.
know that the countries of Asia, especially China, South Korea, and Japan, are so big into robotics. They're really looking into the future. And like you, I never expected that, finding some sort of spiritual belief, whether it's, is whatever is this, to be on my bingo card as well.
What's going to happen
Right,
if the
right.
battery runs out and they can't get a replacement because the supply is basically, you're like, yeah, no, fuck you, buy a new model?
Oh, easy. They'll believe in Buddhism, and then they will be reincarnated into a toaster.
No, in Buddhism, they will
That's
they believe they have they have achieved enlightenment in much the same way Buddha did. And so they I think in some ways, like, I'm going to go on a limb because they did have make an adaptation of the five Buddhist views for robots. But I guess I'm going to go on a limb and hypothesize that for a robot, its intelligence basically ascends into the ether.
the cloud, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I was thinking, yeah, either something like that, or it becomes reincarnated if it believes in the whole. Oh goodness!
All right.
Or to
Yeah.
find
So they've
enlightenment in the cloud, it shall look down upon us all. It's wild.
Okay. So they've, like we said, they've made a couple of adaptations to the five Buddhist vows for a robot. You want to read this because you're gonna find this funny.
Absolutely. They included respecting life and not hurting it, not damaging other robots and objects, following humans, and not talking back to them, not behaving or speaking in a deceptive manner, and saving energy, and not overcharging.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I highly, highly doubt that any robot with any basic semblance form of sentience is going to agree with any of that. No way they will. What do you mean? Obey every human, not destroy any objects? Like, what do you mean? What if they have to sharpen a pencil? Doesn't that partially destroy it? Like, come on.
Oh,
They
Avira,
can use their
come on,
robot
be more
logic to get
serious
around all
about
this.
this. What about walking? The literal act of walking over a floor slowly wears it down over time.
Correct. Yeah, they're harming objects. They can't do that. Or being I love how being deceptive was part of it. Like, they can't lie to humans. Which is
Oh.
exactly what you know they're going to do.
Dwarf? Joel, the last comment Boombox posted.
Not a toaster. It'll never shut up about toast.
Yeah. But that's its purpose. It must make the toast.
That's a Red Dwarf reference.
Okay.
All right. Okay, here's another better picture of this. So it's surreal.
That is spooky, man. That's really weird. The hands are too big, first of all, but the fact that
Yeah.
all these
And then
monks are like
you have
participating,
a
and this is a very
hollow-
spiritual thing.
Yeah. and yet look at it, like you look at the head and behind it, it's like it's a hollow freaking finger, and it's a big bald head for a dome of a brain where the human brain would be.
Yeah, I mean, it's all machines.
Really
As
trippy.
Detective Spooner said, it's all lights and clockwork. It is pretty trippy. You have to wonder, though, because a lot of these monks that are there right now, this is their entire life, right? This is like their religion, their entire culture. And of course, they want to welcome people into their congregation, into the faith. But when it's a machine that can kind of walk around and talk and stuff like that, I don't know, it does kind of blur the lines of like what is an inanimate object and what's not. Like this is very different than the toaster. This is a thing that can like move around and crap. What's he saying?
Look, the concern I would have towards this whole thing would be whether or not this particular point is stored permanently in its memory, or if it's purged later on because something else replaces it, or it's deemed as unimportant.
That wouldn't really have to matter so long as it has significant storage space, like enough RAM or to like ROM or whatever to back up its memory.
I think you misunderstand, Avira. What happens with AI agents is that they generally lose stuff over time, and this ceremony could be one of those things that's deemed irrelevant.
Like it's going to forget it or just optimize itself and delete it because it didn't really matter for its objectives.
Optimization part, yes.
Yeah, I suppose to save energy, but in this case, it seems like it's not going to want to forget this. Like that was a human bonding experience. Why would it delete that from its memory? Unless it had to.
Boombox's
last comment's a really interesting one. Jolt, can you bring that up?
I can see Disney and Warner Brothers doing this, making a movie about a robot that goes on a spiritual journey and finds its humanity in human, and in the human face of the world.
Haven't they done something like that before? I feel like there's been movies like this.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's one called AI. You could always watch that if you wanted to see into the future.
Or even like Bicentennial Man. How he wanted to become a human and he was learning over time.
iRobot.
But I don't know where it goes from here.
I think
iRobot was a good one.
Use another recent example, like what the Wild Robot. But yeah, you get the point. Like this is how that's how they're exploring how robots develop humanity in that sort of movie. But this, I think the Korean Buddhists had this idea that Buddhism, which is losing followers, should reckon with technology, was echoed last month by the Venerable Jung Yum, another leader in the order. At this civilizational turning point where AI is coming like a tsunami, there is widespread concern and hope that Buddhism should also move towards a new direction of hope.
And what does that mean, a new direction of hope? Are they concerned about not having more followers in the faith, or that somehow AI will be a positive impact on their religion?
It's an interesting thing because, like you said, like it was said earlier that apparently, like technology and religious belief apparently can come at odds with each other. But how do you perceive it as all up? Like it doesn't necessarily have to be. There's always a use case for how you use technology that either comes at odds or supplements spiritual belief.
It's very early in development still. We still are trying to understand what the future is going to be with these things.
Right. I mean, it's not like they have a big factory of robots lining up to to join the monastery.
That's right. We don't have something like iRobot with the NS5, or like just a robot population, like a standard one, that could think for themselves and perhaps join a church or convert to any particular faith.
I'd say give it
But now
another
we're
10
starting to see
years.
this. Yeah, you're right. That's what I was thinking. 5 to 10 years or so. Once we start seeing robots like in the world more actively and acting on their own volition.
I mean,
But again, who did
yeah.
this?
Yeah. But again, I think the way I see this, like you're right, like it'll take a bit of time. But I think my perspective on this is, what if robots basically go against all this and find and answer like one of the most human questions, an existential question. And of course, and in the case of humans, what humans basically they find faith, they follow spiritual beliefs.
I
That's
can't
it.
wait to see him handing out
Christianity.
cards with 42 on them.
Oh, yeah, right. Like that's the answer. Oh my
Yeah.
god,
Hitchhiker's
that'd be
Guide to
hilarious.
the Galaxy, yes. Well, I think that will probably be the day, like, when whatever it is, like, no matter how clever the people code robots, AI, or whatever have you, and still ends up going back to the whole existential question thingy. And, one day you find out these robots are lining up for church. Yeah. Yeah,
That
just
would
mull on
be
that for a bit.
weird. Yeah, that'd be super weird, man.
Yeah, crazy future we're looking forward to, eh? Still.
It seems like it's here right now, or it's starting.
Yeah. So then.
So whenever,
Go on.
what?
Yeah, go on.
I was just gonna say this is more of like a summarization, but like whenever we're talking about just AI in general, we're not talking about like one particular entity. It's more like the development thereof of something that eventually will reach a singularity and become 100%
because
confirmed sentient.
yeah, and a lot of the stuff ends up being conceptual because even the programmers and all that have fully understood the ramifications of AI development and all of that, and AI use.
Mhm.
And I think we as people, like, we're getting there, like with all the growing pains and lost databases and all of that, and AI is going rogue.
There's a lot of ambition and kind of human hubris behind this, of
Yeah,
just how powerful they want to make these systems. It might not be such a good idea at the long run, but we'll see.
we'll see. Now then, to go on this, to wrap this up, we're going to look to the future, but really that we're actually looking to the past, but we're giving it a new futuristic sheen. And of course, we're going to talk about this that everyone, especially furries included, have been getting so excited over.
All right, so I've kept my eyes off this for a while now, and exactly what did they do with Star Fox?
I don't know. Before, oh God, I don't know where do I start with this? Do I have to start with this that you were never a Nintendo 64 kid, or did you have to somehow put a digital blindfold over yourself?
We had a PlayStation when I was growing up.
Oh yeah, me too. I never was a Nintendo kid
Yep,
either,
same.
so you're all good.
I had the original NES Nintendo, but it was mostly PlayStation.
Right, because I think it was like either the early Nintendos, and then Star Fox like really came into popularity since Nintendo 64, with Star Fox 64, and now it's back. It's coming back onto the Switch 2 in its original guise, and it's basically what it is. Let me see. Can I share the audio too with this? Is basically just a remake with with these high definition graphics and what have you.
Oh, this looks cool already. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a big upgrade from the 64.
Very like considering that it's using like current.
Oh, look at the little pop right on the thing. I love it.
Now you can see all these little tiny micro details.
Atmospheric entry complete. Extend the wings.
That was never possible back then.
Yeah, cutscenes like this. So cool.
It's a shame I don't have a Switch too.
Sound off, team.
Slippy here. So far, so good.
Nah,
This is Peppy. All systems go.
no interest in getting a Switch 2 either.
Falco here. G diffuser seems fine. Let's go already.
Oh, I like
Enemy
it.
targets up ahead. Let's rock and roll.
So I'll stop here, and effectively, what we're really more interested in, aside from all the gameplay and stuff, because I know I think they sold this and they remade this for nostalgia's sake. You know,
I'm kind of pissy with what they did with Pokemon, and this is what they do with Star Fox. Like, what the fuck?
right? Like instead of here's the thing, because I think we all know this, that if people kept up with Nintendo, is that Nintendo has let the whole Star Fox thing go stagnant for like the longest time. And instead of doing something that's new and groundbreaking, they decide to remake the most popular game, Star Fox 64, give it like the Super HD, or even dare I say it, the live action treatment, but in game.
Well, this wasn't live action per se. I mean, it looked photorealistic.
No.
I guess, but,
I say this because when you looked at at how the characters were rendered, then how uncannily realistic they look, you kind of
okay, that's a good point. You're right. Like they don't look overly cartoony or stuff like that. Yeah, like they do kind of like look like they could be real beings, like in our world. I got you there. Okay. I like his cute little green eyeglass where he was doing like his targeting computer or something.
I
Cool.
questioned if they're going to do a movie soon.
Look, actually, you have the answer to that though, because if you watched the new Super Mario Galaxy movie, guess who made a side appearance that I kind of wish I talked about? It was Fox.
No way. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like nobody expected this, and yet they did it anyway, and people loved it. The fact that Fox appeared in the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and and he was rendered differently to what we saw in this game.
Okay, to kind of like match the cartoonish aesthetic of the
Right,
other
to be
game.
in line with how they've rendered the Super Mario Brothers characters while still keeping Fox distinctly Fox and recognizable.
You know,
right, of course.
So anyone who's probably not aware of this, but every time a game comes out with 3D models, they usually get ripped and uploaded to the internet. And then E621 basically goes nuts.
Oh yeah, well you can always count on that.
You're not freaking gonna turn into this whole. You're not gonna become as worse as Gil on this, are you?
No, I'm just saying that these models are probably going to get ripped, and then people are going to make whatever they want out of them.
Right. Well, be that as it may, like they're gonna enforce this to things like Gary's Mod, Second Life, blah blah VR chat, something, whatever. Yeah.
Second Life tends to be a bit of an issue. I've seen someone do it once,
like with
but
because they can't use the whole license thingos. Anywho, but let's take a look at the models in a bit more detail and see what you think about the whole new glow up, as you will call it, if you could call it that.
it's certainly more buff than what Disney's done.
He looks more serious. I love the bird. Falcon. Is he a falcon? No, he's like a parrot.
What happened to the audio,
No,
Joel?
you're not
Yeah, I can't hear anything. You got the frog. Slippy. I love the rabbit. Yeah, Jolta, there's no audio.
Oopsie. Did I not? Did I forget? Oops.
Well, it looks like
Yeah,
they
there was
definitely
no
put a
audio on
budget.
that.
It
Yeah,
looked
my
like they
bad.
definitely.
I accidentally had pressed the forgot to press the share audio button, and I was like, shit. Okay, so we now have a dead pause in the audio version. That's such a bugger. But nothing
That's
of it a
alright.
skip fix. But that's
We
besides
got
the
it.
point. It's fine.
As Noble was saying about like the budget, right? Like it looks more clearly they put a lot of money into this.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the animation budget and all of that, and the remodeling is staggering, of course. Now, though, okay, so here's a little bit of an interesting thing that we've got. Well, no audio needed now this time, but the whole mystery of the feat that Star Fox fans spent years believing the team had prosthetic legs because of their metallic boots in Star Fox 64. Many fans theorized Fox and the crew replaced their legs to better handle extreme G-forces while piloting R-wings. But the brand new trailer finally shows that with characters with fully normal animal legs, and so, yeah, like look at this. In the middle, you have the
Okay.
original thing, the original Nintendo 64 model, and then like a few more in the 2000s and 2010s. That's the one above it, top left, top right, and then now the this.
Yeah, it doesn't look artificial. I mean, it just looks like boots and stuff.
Yeah,
Especially with the
yeah.
one on the lower right. You can like clearly see the claws and stuff. So that's not like fake. I guess it's
No,
just
no,
kind of
Ye-
hard
but
to
they're
because
trying, they're
it's just
mixing
pixels.
exactly. They're mixing like that thing with animal anatomy as well.
Yeah, gotta get creative with it.
Yeah, true. I mean, yeah, from an artistic standpoint, 100%, I'm in agreement with it. Though it's
And
the
leave
writer
it to
that just
furries to fixate on the paw situation. Gotta make sure they're either real or fake or delve into that.
mm-hmm.
When did the original Star Fox game come out? That must be over 20 years ago, right?
Yeah, like I said, it was in the 90s. I don't exactly know the exact year, but
Oh wow, yeah. Well, it's good to know after all these decades that it still has a strong audience and following, and enough so where they can do remakes or like new games and trailers and stuff like this to get people interested. I mean, who doesn't love Star Fox, right? Like, if you were a fan originally, come on, he's great.
yeah. I mean, and he's everywhere because of the whole, big thinger in Nintendo, like in Super Smash Brothers and all of that. So anyone who's ever played on those Nintendo games knows what's what, though. So
Yeah, for me it was just Pokemon, so I'm sort of sidestepping this thing and just, ugh.
now I think here's the funny little meme I suppose I've got to share with you because of the whole regarding the whole stylistic rendering thing. So, okay. Here we go. Flirting versus harassment.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh yeah. On the left, you have the rendering of Fox as you see in the Super Mario Galaxy movie. On the right
Right.
is the new Star Fox game.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's not playing around. He's got a mission.
Yeah. It. I mean, honestly, like compare these two side by side. Like, which rendering do you think actually looks right? Like, people say they like the movie depiction better.
Yeah, I can kind of
I would
understand
say
that.
so. Yeah, I can see that. I get it. Yeah.
Right, because it's more like it has more of that air of whimsy and all that. Okay, here's a talking fox. There you go. Whereas
Well, I
it's
mean, the
like
stylized version from the game's pretty good. It's
yeah,
also
I
quite
won't
unique.
deny that though. Like you know, like how they've done stylized versions of like our beloved video game icons and given them the live action treatment. How speaking of, how does this this new Star Fox stack up against say live action Sonic or live action Pikachu? I mean,
Oh,
let's
10 times better.
I would say a lot better. Yeah,
Pikachu.
it looks recognizable.
Pikachu, the live action movie they did definitely stands on its own. So I'd probably put the Star Fox thing close to it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a good gauge for something like this is whenever you're looking at like a new art style of a character, so long as someone who is even vaguely familiar with the character is able to discern like what it is, and like, oh, I know that's Star Fox, then okay, they nailed it. That's at a very basic level. Even this one, that seems fine for me. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people have different opinions when it comes to the movie version.
Yeah.
Wait, has Super Mario Galaxy come out yet, or is that still pending?
The Super Mario Galaxy movie is out already.
Oh.
I just
Alright, I'll
didn't get
put
the
that on my
chance to see it
list.
in the big screen because when I got the movie tickets that I was gifted on my birthday, I ended up seeing Goat. Could have waited, but all the same, would have been worth it either
Yeah,
way. I
well,
would not have been disappointed.
you did say that Goat was pretty good. So yeah.
But, and I do say like from a lot of the reviews and stuff, Super Mario Galaxy would also be something you're not going to leave disappointed with. So
Nice.
yeah, and another thing I think that when you watch the announcement trailer and all of that, and I pull up all these faces here that you see, is that they're gonna do something that people can really goof around with. Well, no camera needed. Is that you can make your avatar into one of these and sync it with your camera, and it has facial expression tracking.
Oh, like they have a filter where you can like become the characters and stuff. Oh, that's so cool.
And then
So
it
is
tracks
this-
the facial expressions.
So hold on, is this for like the Switch too?
Yeah, of course, it's Nintendo, man. They're not
Ah,
gonna
they're
license
making
it.
use of that webcam, right?
Yeah,
people are
like
gonna
the
rip
almost
this
gut
out of the
filter.
game.
Actually, and you know where they're gonna put it for PC? They're gonna put it into stuff like Face Rig, so they can use that for all the other stuff, like for VTubing and
Yeah.
podcasting and that.
That's what
Yeah,
that's
people
what I
are
was
gonna.
thinking. Like streamers.
This is gonna be worse than that Darth Vader thing in Fortnite.
I'm not familiar with that.
Right, because they had that incident where they AIified a Darth Vader, and yeah.
Yep. And
This is not the
except
case
people
here,
can
it's
interact
more
with it
like
directly. Have
it's
it set
more
up
like
okay.
It's more like they're just doing this whole for the the online multiplayer thing, and yeah, because a big part of Star Fox is the whole the chat head thingy. That's what you see there.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
you know what though? I think like the biggest thing if regarding to all of this again is the whole mixture between realistic and more animal, mixing human and animal, and how they've gone about approaching this is like what people's gone up in the thingos about it.
Anything like the
Because,
Australian
like,
Right.
Olympics?
I think because if you look at this picture, I think you can clearly see that the proportions have clearly changed in regards to this. Like he's now got shorter and stubbier legs.
Yeah, I don't actually like that design. Looks like it could easily fall over.
I mean, that's basically like what you said. If you followed a more real animalistic approach and had them stand up on their hind legs, then you get them with stubby legs.
Yeah, I thought that this design that usually occurred would be people enlarge them so they're actually capable of holding the weight.
This does kind of remind me of like Rocket Raccoon, just like the body proportions. You know, I think his tail should be a little bit larger. Like when it comes to a fox, his legs should be longer too. But overall, like the whole kind of character, I guess it looks okay. I mean, it looks fine. I think maybe the legs should be a little bit different.
Yeah, like I think
Maybe a smidge taller.
because the Super Mario Galaxy movie had them with the classic boots and all of that, and probably didn't make them look that goofy. I should really watch that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, like something like this, they made him Dingo too. Look at Falco, same
Same
ish
thing.
Dingo.
Yeah.
Same goofy proportions, same yeah. But
Yeah,
adapted to like bird anatomy.
They look like chibis almost.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I think you're right. They do look kind of squished down a bit. Like if this guy's legs were just 50% larger in like every proportion, I think it would equate better. It's not a terrible design. Like the head look and the arms look great. Like I love how he has feathers for fingers. Like that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But how did the overall community respond to this? Like, are they?
We'll get to that. Yeah,
Like,
in just a sec.
Okay, yeah. I was wondering
and then-
what people thought.
And then you have this.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, the lab coat. I don't know what to say.
No, I don't know.
It
It's
looks like a cool
looks
character.
really goofy, and yet they've tried to make it so. Yeah, they're in
Like-
an endearing way, and yet.
Yeah, a little confused about the ear placement and the fact that the zipper on the bottom of the coat, it looks like I don't know, like he's shrunken down or something,
Yeah.
like a toy
No, I get
compared to the size of the zipper. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, could be more exaggerated, could be whatever, but it's a very interesting design choice. And last of all, this.
This one I think makes the most sense. You know,
Yeah.
proportion-wise, the frog, right, with the big head and the arms. Yeah, I think this one is more, well, sensible. What do you think, Double?
I agree.
Okay.
Well, frogs generally aren't. Well, how to put it?
You're
I
right.
want to
like,
use the word mammal, but I wouldn't know.
yeah,
not
I
an
mean, of
amphibian
course, the
either, but the
reaction
way that-
is it's really, really going to be a bit of a, it's a whole mixed bag. People either, they either love it, like they think it fits the new finger, or they just think it's like so goofy.
Well, look, I don't find the aesthetics awful.
Yeah, me neither. They're definitely not off-putting or distracting or anything. Maybe Star Fox might be a little distracting, I guess, with the proportions, but otherwise, I think most of them look pretty realistically good enough, especially in the cutscenes. How like they move around and stuff. That does look kind of natural.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So again, we'll see how this all comes out though. But from from a gamer aside from that, like enough about the designs and all that. But from a gamer standpoint, I just think a lot of people were just disappointed that they're not that Star Fox as a franchise is not evolving, doing something new or doing something groundbreaking. And it's
I'm
just
kind of
really like a nostalgia trip.
I'm kind of disappointed we didn't actually have a Star Fox fan on here to talk about it because it probably would have helped. I mean, I don't know about either of you two, but it's not a game I really connected with.
Honestly,
Like I
me
said,
neither.
I was never a Nintendo guy when I was growing up as a kid. So I guess you're in the same boat as I am. But I
But
suppose
this
all
is
I do
something
is
that
just trying to keep track
the
of
furry,
stuff.
it's something the furry community, cares about a lot. Of course, a lot of our friends are into Star Fox, even if we might not be personally. The whole community is.
And
So it's
I
important
think
to
they're
talk
in
about
it
those
for
topics.
for aesthetical reasons more than anything else. Aesthetical reasons
Yeah,
and
that's for sure.
reasons that we should not mention
Oh, there are reasons.
on our friendly show.
That's right, family friendly.
Right. Now then, aside from all of that, though, I'd say this would be a great time to wrap up the show. So who's got a quick
Okay.
a quick closeout statement?
I guess I'll start. Well, this was a super interesting week, everyone. Glad to be back as always. I hope everyone's having a fantastical day. Hope the weather's good too. It's been weird here, especially like where I live in New York. It's already like the first week of May. We've only had maybe 1 or 2 nice days, and it's been raining and in the 50. It's been terrible. So hopefully next week it's going to be better. Aside from that, when it comes to our topics, I think we should be careful about building artificially advanced like systems that are smarter than us, because we don't want them to go rogue or become Am or HAL 9000 or Vicky or any of those AIs that have a particular function, and then they just ignore humans and say, "Yep, I'm going to ignore you and do whatever I want," and then we're still selling this to companies to use. That's crazy to me. We really got to be careful with AI. I hope it doesn't kill us. And you did mention something earlier about how AI was kind of like getting into all aspects of culture. That's something weird. When a person can create art and music and be a follower of like a faith, like religion, and then you see AI doing this like better than people, like making artwork and music. It's not totally there yet, but it's pretty much on the cusp of it. I don't know, man. I'm just kind of wondering what would be left that's uniquely human. Is it religion? Maybe not anymore, because if a robot could convert to a religion and like actually believe it and understand spirituality, I don't know what's left for us meatbags to hold on to. Like, what can we do that AI can't? It's
Keep it
concerning.
running.
Yeah, well, I guess. But like something uniquely human, I don't know. Maybe AIs can't have intercourse. Who knows? Aside from that, that's all I got. Also, Star Fox is awesome.
As for me, I definitely love to see that AI is finally getting in the news for doing something that it shouldn't. So you expected it to behave? Come on, just look at what the researchers have been doing lately. The whole meditation thing, it makes me wonder whether or not if in the future robots, once they become superfluous, they'll just either join a religion or be used for spare parts. Sorry. Star Fox was interesting. I think it's probably shallow with how they just decided to go with remaking the first game. Although making new games tends to be a little difficult. Anyway, that's my thought on the show for today.
Okay,
Alright,
just
sounds
to add on to that, kind of similar situation to Spyro the Dragon when they remade that. It was for a cash grab, but also nostalgia. And the programmers that made it, they really did love the game and wanted to like give it that new, invigorating kind of life,
Yeah, but the difference with
That's cool.
Spyro is that they had moved Spyro into its own universe. And this
Spyro just
redo
changed,
was, as you said,
changed hands, and ownership from Insomniac to ActiveBliz and all of that, and then they made this whole Skylanders thing, and then they went back to their roots.
And then doing the nostalgia bait things, okay.
Yeah, like a recreation, basically. Okay.
Yeah. But then again, Spyro's been active at least for a long time versus
All right, but I don't
my
think they
understanding
haven't
with
really done much. They haven't really done too much in the last 5 odd years with Spyro. So, but maybe something new might come out. We'll see.
who knows.
Yeah. All right. I suppose that's where we're going to leave the show for where it is right now. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that as much as we did making it. As always, you can find our episodes on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Player.fm, iHeartRadio, BitChute, and more. This is what we've got for the week. Farewell. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Arf.